Ayan. Good afternoon, teachers. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat and welcome to our stream for today. And binabati ko po lahat ng ating mga guro na para sa araw na to at welcome to our fifth installment of our Edpuzzle webinar series. No? And this one is really going to be like something that you're going to be able to really relate kasi ang mga guest po natin ngayon ay mga guro na nagtalagang gumamit, na nag-apply, no, sumubok at nagpatunay na Edpuzzle works. Na magandang hapon, Sir Alwin, Ambassador Alwin, magandang hapon.
Magandang hapon, Sir Franco. Sa tama po, ang mga kasama natin mamaya, talagang mga experts na sa paggamit ng Edpuzzle sa kanilang mga klase.
Yes, good afternoon. And I think Sir Alwin will be forced to communicate in a language that will have, because we have audience from Malaysia. I saw one from the comment, teacher Dewey Yu Kiang Mei from Malaysia, Sarawak. Okay, so yes, Lagari daw according to Sir Angelo. Nakagaling ko lang because I just came from another training. Yes, so shout out to Sir Sir Angelo, Sir Jambi. Good afternoon. And sa inyong lahat po, no. Of course, no, yes, Lagare, but we will always continue to serve our teachers. Okay, so Sir Alwin, ano bang meron tayo para sa araw na to, and what is up for today's session?
So, Sir Franco, yung coming from our webinar from last time with Mr. Bogdan, nasimulan na niya yung paano natin gamitin ang na-discuss na niya ang flip classroom at pag-flip ng klase natin using Edpuzzle videos, di ba? Kaya ngayon, parang ang idea natin, ituloy natin yung nasimulan ni Sir Bogdan paggamit ng Edpuzzle in this learning pedagogy. Pero this time naman, galing mismo sa experiences ng ating mga teachers. So one teacher comes from a private school at isang teacher coming from a public school. Kaya excited ating episode na ito.
Oo. Ang ganda ng combination na yun, Sir Alvin, syempre, because it's going to be able to take into context na yung application, because we have to admit no, that there are some context in the private school and some context in the public school that makes the difference. Okay, so by hearing from the experiences of a teacher from the public school and a teacher from the private school, should allow you to see the potentials. But Sir Alvin, disclaimer lang, it's not about really about access to resources, no? It's really about the context of your students, the context of your doing. For example, public school, they have a very strict adherence to the MELC or the MELC. While, for example, for some private schools like us, for example, in Xavier School, no, because we are a PASCO accredited school, okay, we tend to, of course, there are some deviations, okay, in terms of like our curriculums, our direction, etc. And that would actually impact how you use your technology in the classroom. But of course, gusto ko lang ulit, Sir Alwin, mag-shoutout ng dalawang tao nandyan po sa audience right now. Ang ating coach of the month, no, Sir Joseph Gabriel Educado. And of course, no, baka hindi po natin nakikita, please do check his Facebook profile. Kaka-upload lang niya ng video about adding Edpuzzle extension. Tama ba yan, Sir Alwin? Pwede mo bang balitaan ako dyan about what is that extension and what does it do for our users?
Yes, sir. Actually, tuwang-tuwa ako nung nakita ko tong post ni Sir Gab. So ito po yung bago, one of the updates of Edpuzzle. Pwede na po tayong mag-video, mag-screen recording mismo sa Edpuzzle. At pagkatapos po ng ating ginagawa, screen recording, mag-automatic na po na mag-upload sa Edpuzzle. And parang one-stop shop. So after doon, pwede na po tayong diretsong mag-edit, mag-annotate ng ating video. Right after that, assign na po agad.
So, ang tinding pasabog. Ang tinding pasabog, Sir Alwin. At ano pa lang yan, no? Simula pa lang yan ng mga 2021 updates natin, no, teachers, no? And again, that should make using Edpuzzle much easier, no, for our teachers. Kasi pwede ng diretso, no? And again, no, Sir Alwin, pinapatunayan lang na ating coach of the month for July na siya ay karapat-dapat talagang coach of the month na makatanggap ng cash prize, ng swag bag, at saka, Sir Alwin, yung pinakamalaking prize natin? Edpuzzle Premium Access for the entire school. So yan lang naman po ang natanggap ng ating, lang nang naman Sir Alvin, ng ating Coach of the Month. So, kung hindi pa po kayo nakakapag-apply, apply na po kayo. Our application for the August Coach of the Month na makakatanggap ng cash prize, Edpuzzle swag bag, and of course, a premium access account for your entire school, for the entire year po. Apply na po kayo. Nasa page po namin at Kaagapay Teacher Support, or you can go to our Facebook group, Edpuzzle Pilipinas. Okay? Yan. Sabi nga ni Sir, gusto ko yung comment ni Sir Jeffrey, no? I-highlight nga natin yan. Hindi ka napapahirapan, lalo pang pinadali. Yan. Thank you, Sir Jeffrey, no, for that. And of course, gusto ko lang i-shoutout din, no, ang aking new acquaintance. And of course, no, in a way, ano na rin, si Miss RC, Rachel Cassis, no, sa mga partners ngayon ng namin, no, as a trainer now. Okay? So, kagagaling ko lang sa trainer with them kanina. Okay? So, hello, Miss RC, and good afternoon. Okay? So, Sir Alvin, huwag natin patagalin. Let's now get into this sharing for today para mas madami tayong oras para magbalitaktakan about all this flipping the classroom, kasi we're excited. How do we actually flip the classroom so that we can deepen the learning process? Okay, so let's welcome our first speaker, Sir Alvin. Would you do the honor to introduce to us, okay, our first speaker for today?
So, Sir Franco, our first speaker for today is one of the newest Edpuzzle coaches. And our first speaker is also a mathematics teacher from Xavier School. She took her Master of Learning and Teaching in De La Salle University. And Sir Franco, ito po, mainit-init na balita pa, uh, tapos lang ni Madam ng kanyang course. And she is also an Edpuzzle coach level, and then an Edpuzzle educator levels 1 and 2. And in this online setup, made her strive to study and understand various applications to use for her classes. And her goal is to also apply and use technology with the right purpose. So, Sir Franco and our Ed Puzzlers and teachers, let us all welcome Ms. Marcy de la Peña, our Ed Puzzle coach from Xavier School.
Hello po. Good evening.
Good evening, Coach.
Good evening po. Okay. So, share lang po ako ng screen.
And then Coach Marcy, we'll just, yan, okay. And Coach
Okay.
Marcy, good afternoon and welcome to our stream. Okay, so before tayo siguro mag-start, no, ng ating stream for today, we'd like to congratulate you for all your achievements, okay, and we're very proud of you, no. And of course, the entire Edpuzzle community. So, siguro po, siguro before tayo mag-start, Coach Marcy, is that, can you like give us like an overview? What will be the like the essence, no, or the core of your sharing for today?
Okay, so yung i-share ko po is yung experience ko with our unit, one of our lessons. And then I'll explain po yung step-by-step na nangyari po sa klase. And then my general experience and my realizations after po.
Thank you. Maraming salamat, Coach Marcy. So, we'll not prolong it anymore. Okay, the floor is yours, Coach Marcy. Teachers, enjoy. Don't forget that if we are still, Coach Alvin, Ambassador Alvin and I will be at the chat. Now, if you need anything, just go ahead and chat with us, okay, while we listen to the sharing of Coach Marcy. Go ahead, Coach Marcy.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, sorry. Sir, can you see my screen? Just to be sure.
Yes, Coach Marcy, we can see it.
Okay, hello po. Good evening. Okay. So, just to give you a context po. Okay, so our topic last time was about word problems on rational numbers, and ang hinahandle kong level ay grade 7. Okay, so before tong topic na to, ang topic namin is about operations on rational numbers. So, alam na yun ng mga bata. So, ang flipping preparation ko ay first, syempre, gumawa po ako ng Edpuzzle video. So, ang ginawa ko is, gumawa ako ng sarili kong video and then vinidyohan. So, gumawa akong screencast and then I uploaded it in Edpuzzle. So, after that, I made some questions. Okay, so yung multiple choice po dito. So, ano po yung nilalaman ng Edpuzzle video ko? So, yung nilalaman niya ay 3-word problems. So, kung makikita niyo po, nilagay ko yung equation, solution, and yung final answer. Okay? Kasi ang gusto kong matutunan ng mga bata ko is how to annotate. Okay? So, how to annotate, make their equation, and also their solution. So, as you can see here, so pinakita ko po sa video ko kung paano mag-annotate. And then, meron ako multiple choice question dito. So, kunwari, what operation are you going to use? So, given this one na naka-underline. So, ayun po. So, after ko mag-create ng video, so, our LMS is Schoology po. So, ayan, nilagay ko siya sa Schoology and I assigned it as a homework for my students. Okay, so, syempre po, pag nag-assign tayo ng homework sa mga students natin or nagpapapanood tayo ng video, syempre kailangan natin ng guide questions. So, yung mga guide, nilagay ko dito yung guide questions ko na how do you translate the word problem to an equation? Tapos, what should you consider when solving a problem? So, actually po, pwede nyo rin ilagay yung guide questions nyo sa Edpuzzle video. So, you can use the note po. So, ayun. And then, after that, okay, so syempre, assuming that the students have watched the video, so makikita naman po natin, cheers, kung napanood po talaga ng mga bata yung video. So, ayan. So, dahil green, ibig sabihin, napanood nila yung video. So, yun. So, for our next session, okay, so ito po yung mga nangyari. So, first one, nagkaroon kami ng group work activity. Okay, so sa group work activity, binigyan namin sila ng PDF file ng mga word problems. So, meron po kaming 4 word problems. So, ano po yung nangyari doon? So, per breakout room, meron pong assigned na word problem. Okay? So, ang nangyari ay, ang instruction po sa mga bata, so they will go to their breakout room and then they can share their whiteboard and annotate. So, they need to talk with their group mates. So, ayun po. And then, after 12 minutes, bumalik po sila sa main session sa Zoom. And then, kung makikita nyo po kasi dito sa word problems ko, for example, same yung word problem ni breakout room 1 and 2. Okay? So, dahil po dyan, ang nangyari is, binigyan ko po ulit sila ng another 5 minutes. Okay? Pero this time, yung breakout room po nila ay magkasama na si group 1 and 2, si 3 and 4, 5 and 6, tsaka si 7 and 8. Yung merong parehas na word problem. Okay? So, ang goal kasi nila is to present their solution, okay, sa class. Okay? So, after ng group work activity, they need to present their solution. Okay? So, ang nangyari po kasi dun sa group work activity, per group, kailangan nilang i-upload yung work nila sa Schoology. So, I'll show it to you. So, ayan po siya. So, ginamit ko po yung media album ng Schoology for them to upload their work. Okay, so why did I choose this one? Para kapag binisita ng bata yung Schoology, makikita nila yung mga works ng isa't isa. Okay, kasi para saan po yan? Kasi dun sa presentation, kailangan nilang mag-work with the other group and compare their answer. Okay, so they need to present their answer and then kapag same, then they just need to assign one reporter. And then kapag magkaiba ng solution, of course, kailangan nilang pag-usapan kung sino ba yung tama. Okay, and paano ba sila naka-arrive with that solution. Okay, so after this one, okay, after na nila mag-present, nagkaroon na kami ng checkpoint activity. So, yung checkpoint, that's what we call the formative assessment. Okay? So, teachers, makikita nyo po na hindi po kami nagturo. Kasi po, we used actually the video, which is the Edpuzzle video na ginawa ko. So, yun po yung basehan ng mga students for that activity. So, there. Okay. So, what are my realizations after doing the flipped classroom? So, one, students were engaged in the group work activity. So, paano ko naman nalaman na they were engaged? Okay. So, one, nung pinuntahan ko sila sa breakout rooms, everyone turned on their cameras and they were talking to their classmates. Okay. So, another one is that I asked them to assign a leader, secretary, reporter, and a timekeeper. So si timekeeper, inask ko siya na i-message ako sa Schoology kung sino yung hindi nag-participate. And actually, sa mga messages sa akin sa Schoology, nagulat ako na lahat nag-participate. So ayun po, kasi ngayong online setup, 'di ba, parang napakahirap i-engage ng mga bata kasi parang nahihiya sila mag-share, so ganun. Pero after this activity, nakakatuwa po talaga na lahat ng ni-report nila, lahat po nag-participate. So ayun, and then they were able to connect the lesson to previous lessons. So ang maganda dito is that, like what I have mentioned earlier, we didn't teach the topic. So what I mean with that is the video itself serves as the topic. So as you can see, kaya nga po ako nag-create ng own video ko, is that we are using our language in the school. So meaning, yun nga po, pinakita ko kung paano sila mag-annotate, this is how you create the equation, and also the step-by-step solution. So ang maganda, minodel out ko na sa students kung paano nila sasagutan ang word problems. Okay? And then sa last, they were more confident in explaining their work. Ang nakakatuwa nga po dito, nung tinatanong ko na kung sino yung mga reporter, sobrang bilis. As in, binigay po nila agad yung names nila. And ang bilis ng flow, di ba po, ewan ko po, based from my experiences kasi parang, di ba pag tinatanong natin who wants to recite or who wants to volunteer, sobrang hirap po talaga mag-ask kung sino. Pero dahil po dito sa ginawa naming flipped classroom, nagulat ako kasi they are too confident to share their answers. So, ayun lang po. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Maraming salamat, Coach Marcy. Okay. Sir Alvin, so una-una, siyempre, i-clarify lang muna natin, no, yung binabanggit kanina ni Coach Marcy na Schoology, yan po ang aming learning management system sa aming school. Okay, so yan po yung ginagamit na po kami nag-conduct ng aming asynchronous learning, no, at saka nag-communicate ng mga information, nagpa-facilitate ng instruction for our students in our own school. Okay, so kung meron po yung iba na Google Classroom o kaya MS Teams, okay, or Canvas, kami po ay Schoology ang ginagamit namin. Okay? Siguro lang, Coach Marcy, no, if you have questions for Coach Marcy, please do feel free to put that in the chat and we'll try to address them. Pero siguro ang unang question ko, no, Sir Alwin and to Coach Marcy is that in this process of application, no, what were the challenges, okay? And if there were any hesitations in the use of Edpuzzle.
Sir Alvin. Hindi kasi partners kami ni Sir Alvin, so baka gusto niya sumagot. Pero anyway, for me kasi, to be honest, ang problem ko, 'di ba, is giving of homework ngayong online setup. Kasi syempre, ang iniisip natin, ang mga bata gusto na lang mag-relax after ng class, 'di ba? So yun lang yung winner ko, nako, baka hindi sila panoorin yung Edpuzzle video. So paano na yun? So ang na-realize ko lang is that we need to give a good priming to the students kung bakit nila kailangan panoorin yung video. So, kung gaano ka-importante yon for the next lesson. So, ayun po.
Indeed, no, I agree with that. Yung idea ng proper integration nung material, kasi if the students feel that the material is actually going to be useful in the current lesson and in the next lesson, they will of course, no, motivated to watch it. They will want to watch it, no. And of course, huwag natin kakalimutan na si Edpuzzle ay meron ding analytics, no, Sir Alwin, no, Ambassador Alwin, na pwede natin i-check, no, kapag to remind the students, 1 month na, hindi yung pa napapanood yung Edpuzzle video natin, okay? So we can actually remind them, okay? So the analytics, no, of Edpuzzle video is not meant for policing students, but rather than that, it's actually for formative, no, yung ma-remind natin sila na baka naman nakalimutan lang or baka hindi napansin, okay, etc. And of course, we always have to give them a benefit of the doubt. Okay, so we have a question from Teacher Rotessa Macaro. Sir Alwin, this is, I think, a general question. You might want to address this one. Okay. So this is, paano po ginagawa ang Edpuzzle po, ma'am? First time to attend. Okay. Saan nga ba
For
tayo nagsisimula? Pa-remind natin ulit ang ating audience.
So, Ma'am Ritessa, ang unang-una po, mag-sign up po tayo sa Edpuzzle. Tapos, sa paggawa po ng ating mga Edpuzzle videos, meron po tayong dalawang options. Yung first one, kumuha po ng video based sa mga videos na nakalagay na po sa ating Edpuzzle once na meron na po tayong account. At ang second, yung parang ginawa ni Coach Marcy kanina, wherein she uploaded her own video. So, gumawa po si Coach Marcy ng kanyang sariling video, in-upload niya po sa Edpuzzle. Tapos, sa Edpuzzle po, pwede po nating i-edit ang mga video. Pag sinabi po nating i-edit, pwede po tayong mag-cut ng mga parts na hindi po natin gagamitin sa particular lesson natin. Tapos, pwede po tayong mag-annotate wherein we can add questions or we can also add other resources, mag-add ng link. At ang isa pong maganda ngayon, yun nga yung bagong update ng Edpuzzle. Pag gagawa po tayo ng ating mga sariling videos, pwede na po within the Edpuzzle, maglalagay lang po tayo ng extension. At alam ko, gustong-gustong marinig ito ni Sir Franco, yung extension sa ating Google Chrome.
Yes. Mas na yung integration yan. Kaya, pag na kayo lumayo, mag-Google Chrome na kayo. Teacher Rotessa, I hope that we were able to address your question, no? Okay? So far, wala namang ibang question so far, no? Although meron ako napansin kanina na comment from Lula Chuchi, I'm so proud of you. I don't know kung really relative ba to ni Coach Marcy. Pero mukhang tawan-tawan, mukhang relative ni Coach Marcy. No? Okay. Si Lula Chuchi. Hey, Lula
Teacher ka po
Chuchi.
before.
Oh, okay. Ano po, dito, fruits of your labor po, yung galing ni Coach Marcy ngayon. Yan. Good evening po, Lola Chuchi, from our live stream today. Okay? So, Sir Alwin, meron ka pa bang mga katanungan, questions? Although, again, mag-partner nga pala kayo dun sa activity na yun. So, syempre, walang masyadong tanong, no? Siguro, ano lang, Coach Marcy, no? Last question is that, although it's a very new activity that you have implemented, but are there significant changes to, for example, how your students reacted, how your students interacted with the content, maybe learned the lesson, okay, compared to before when you were doing something else, not using Edpuzzle video?
To be honest po, after letting the students try the flipped classroom or yung sa Edpuzzle video, ang maganda po kasi sa kanya is ready yung mga bata, and ang isa sa magandang feature ng Edpuzzle, they can rewatch again, 'di ba? And go back to the questions. So just in case na mali yung sagot nila, 'di ba? Kunwari sa multiple choice question, yung nakalagay na doon yung sagot. So ayun po.
So again, no, definitely may changes, no. Pero tama rin yung sinabi kanina ni Coach Marcy na kailangan may priming tsaka consistent use, no. And definitely will see a more apparent change, no, in the way our students are learning. So Coach Marcy, maraming salamat. We'll park you for now in the backstage, no, and we'll move on to our next section, which is going to be the sharing of our ambassador Alwin. So we'll have you back later on, okay? So, Sir Alwin, siguro bago lang tayo magpatuloy, no, gusto ko lang i-remind ulit ating mga teachers na kapag gumagamit tayo ng Edpuzzle, when we're using Edpuzzle, although the tool itself is already very good, no, parang, again nga, wala ka nang hahanaping pang iba pagdating sa annotation at paggamit ng mga video lessons. Pero let's always remember, okay, that it takes pa rin a great teacher, no, in terms of like designing, okay, our what you call this, instruction. Okay? Kasi syempre hindi pwede nagre-rely lang tayo dun sa galing ng tools. Kailangan we also have to make sure that our designs or our instructional designs perfectly capitalizes, no, the greatness of the tool. Okay? So let's now, Sir Alwin, okay, I'll give you the floor now for you to for your sharing. We'll just have some tips from Sir Alwin on how we can better use Edpuzzle in flipping our classroom before we introduce our next speaker. So go ahead, Sir Alvin.
So, Sir Franco, for this part, ang sa akin naman, it is on the flipping the classroom. Sandali lang po, merong hindi yata na-share. Or, I hope my screen is seen by the people.
Okay na, Sir Alvin.
Okay, thank you, Sir Franco. So, teachers, for this part, since ang dinidiscuss po natin is how to flip your classroom with Edpuzzle. Actually, this was already discussed and presented to us by Mr. Bogdan. So, magbibigay lamang po din ako ng aking example or yung experience, but this time, it is using Edpuzzle sa aking pamangkin. So, what I did was, kapag free time naming dalawa, sometimes I let him watch an Edpuzzle video. And of course, since I am a math teacher and most of the time what we do is to study math together. So ito po, nanonood yung pamangkin ko ng Edpuzzle video. And then there are times that I ask him to solve problems after watching the video. And if not, what I do is I give him activities like quizzes after watching the video, or sometimes pinagpapalit-palit ko po para mas maintindihan ng this will now give us a more time for us to work with if we're going to convert this idea into the classroom. Parang yung binigay kanina ni Coach Marcy, mas maraming time yung pwede na nating spend with our students than us discussing everything. So we can already tap with what we call the prior knowledge of our students because we would want them to be more engaged in our discussion in class. So some of the tips that are coming from Edpuzzle in flipping our classrooms. First, when we are going to start flipping our classroom with Edpuzzle, teachers, it is very important for us to explain our objectives in flipping the classroom. Dapat alam na po ng mga estudyante natin bakit natin ito ginagawa, bakit natin kailangan itong style na ito, para mas maintindihan din po ng mga students natin. And at the same time, we may also be giving the idea already to the parents of our students on why we are flipping our classes. So yung objective naman po kanina, parang yung idea was already given by Coach Marcy. So I will not be digging much into the objectives in flipping the classroom, but more on, ito po yung part na mas kailangan din natin sigurong i-prepare yung ating mga students before we let them use the Edpuzzle video and before we flip our classes. So teachers, it is very important for us to identify and celebrate desirable learning behaviors. So bago po natin hayaan ng mga students natin to watch the video, or especially kung first time po natin itong gagawin, so dapat sabihin natin sa mga students natin yung iba't ibang parts ng ating learning platform para maintindihan po ng ating mga students. So yung part wherein we can pause the video para mas ma-digest siguro ng students natin yung kanilang pinapanood. And since there are questions that are embedded within the video, it is also important for us to let our students understand the importance of this feature of Edpuzzle, wherein students can rewatch certain parts of this video. Kasi for example, our student, hindi niya po naintindihan masyado or hindi niya pa alam yung isasagot niya sa tanong na ito. So pwede po natin sabihan sila na they can rewatch certain parts of the video. That's why kung natatandaan niyo po, teachers, before, one of the tips that I have given when you are going to use Edpuzzle is, for example, your video is good for 5 minutes. If it is to be done inside the classroom, pwede po sigurong bigyan natin ang ating mga students ng 10 to 15 minutes sa panonood ng video. Kasi it is also important for us to understand na yung mga bata, kailangan nila sometimes to rewatch that part of the video, or especially with our setup today, na baka merong internet connection problems, or it is in line with the self-pace of our students. And then it is also important for us to guide our students, tell them how to watch the video accurately and properly and how to take down notes. So sabihan po natin yung mga students natin na they should take down notes on the important details that they will see with the video. So the things that I would want to share here in this part, especially in watching the video for the first time with your students, is that let us guide them first. Parang yung sinabi din kanina ni Sir Franco, kahit gaano kaganda yung tool natin, if hindi din naiintindihan ng mga students natin paano gamitin, then I believe hindi magiging successful yung paggamit natin ng tool na ito. But if our students also understand or have an idea of our objectives on how to work with the given tool that we would want them to use, then most probably there will be a better success in implementing our lessons with the use of Edpuzzle. And then let us measure the number of assignments completed through our analytics and also get the feedback from our students on the length of the video, the difficulty of the questions, and the content of the lesson. So, minsan, pag ginagamit natin ang ating mga videos, teachers, one thing is, let us not expect our students then na makuha nila yung 100% of the ideas that we would want them to give. That's why, if we going to consider the analytics of Edpuzzle, then doon natin makikita yung kung hindi lang, kung nanood ba yung student natin, but aside from that, the powerful analytics or this feature of Edpuzzle will really help us understand what is happening sa ating mga estudyante individually. Kung tama ba yung sagot nila, kung naintindihan ba talaga nila yung lesson na gusto nating ay ibigay sa kanila, or tamang-tama ba na are the questions easy or difficult, at tama ba yung content na naibigay natin sa ating mga students. So, it is not only us giving the feedback. For example, yung sa amin din po, sometimes after our classes or when we do our exit tickets sa aming class, we also get feedbacks from the students. So, for example, sasabihin namin at the rate of 1 to 3, 1 being the lowest, or 1 being easy, 2 being average, 3 being difficult. What is your level of understanding of the lesson? Or there are instances sa bandang huli po ng ating video, we can ask a simple question on getting the feedback from the students. We can ask them, how confident are they with the topic already? So if we have these teachers, then we can watch the Edpuzzle video first with our students, and then next, we can give them maybe 1 or 2 videos in a week para makita din po natin at ma-maximize natin ang paggamit ng Edpuzzle, ang analytics, and we can merge everything together. At teachers, ito lang din po ang isa sa mga bilin sa atin ng Edpuzzle when we are flipping our classes. Sa simula, hindi po ganun talaga kadali. We cannot expect our students to really get what we want to give them. Or we cannot expect them to really navigate Edpuzzle immediately. But because this is a certain kind of change, di ba? Kasi before, nasanay ang ating mga students kapag manonood sila ng video, automatically ang naiisip nila, video lesson is from YouTube. But now there is a level, we now see another level or another layer of engagement. From YouTube, we make it into an Edpuzzle video lesson. So there is already an engagement. It is not just passive watching of a video, pero meron na pong engagement ang student natin sa panonood ng kanilang video. So ito po yung isa sa mga importante talaga na dapat nating i-consider. The readiness of our students. Do they know how to work on the given platform already? And then, towards the end, kapag nakikita na natin na nagkakaroon na tayo ng success, nagkakaroon na po ng, naiintindihan na po ng mga students yung integration, then maybe we can add more videos to them if we see that the videos that we are giving them are helpful or not. So makikita po natin ito sa analytics, sa pagbigay ng feedback ng mga students, at sa level of engagement ng mga students. So that's it for me. Sir Franco?
Yes, maraming salamat na Sir Alvin for that tips no that you've shared about for to us no about flipping the crowds. Indeed, and we will always have to go back to that Sir Alvin no, putting the students at the center of our designs. Okay, will
Yeah.
ensure that our tools, our instruction remains student centered and therefore effective for the learning process to occur. Okay, so maraming salamat no. There's a request earlier for us to show a video that has been made by a teacher. Um, for that, just recall that request. Okay, you may visit our Facebook group. Okay, we have posted the video of one of our speakers for today, and you can actually see how she applied it and how she made her video using Edpuzzle. Okay, so just look for Edpuzzle Pilipinas, and you should be able to see one of our posts there on an Edpuzzle video. Okay, from one of our speakers for today, which Sir Alwin brings me. Would you like to introduce now our second speaker for tonight? Okay, to be
Yeah.
able to share her experience in using Edpuzzle.
Yeah, so our second speaker is our first ever Edpuzzle Educator of the Month sa ating Edpuzzle Pilipinas. And she will be telling us or giving us her experience on how she used Edpuzzle. This time naman po sa context ng ating mga public school teachers. So teachers, our Edpuzzle coach is teacher Joanne Australia, and she is from Concepcion Integrated School. So teacher Joanne, teachers, let us all welcome teacher Joanne Australia once again.
And
Ayan,
welcome to
good
the
evening po.
stream, Teacher Joanne.
Good evening po. Naririnig po?
Yes,
Yes,
po, Coach
we can
Joanne.
hear you, Teacher Joanne.
Ayan. So, good evening po sa lahat.
Good evening po.
Good evening, Teacher Joanne. No, I'm just, yes, for a while. No, of course, I would like to ask you again, just like what we asked Teacher Coach Marcy, is are there, what would be the expectations, no? What would be the main message or content of what you're going to share for today?
So, I'm going to share po yung aking experience as a public school teacher kung paano ko pong na-integrate sa lesson ko yung Edpuzzle. Yun po.
Again, no, what we're trying to show here, teachers, is that regardless of your context, Edpuzzle is applicable no, in both private and public setup. Okay, so go ahead, Teacher Joanne. Let me just share your presentation.
Ayan.
Okay, the floor is yours now, Teacher Joanne. Good luck.
Thank you po. So, good evening po sa lahat. Again, I am Miss Joanne Estrella from Concepcion Integrated School. So, I will be discussing the practical and wait lang po. Practical and actual applications of Edpuzzle. Ayan po. So, before anything else, let me introduce first myself. Ayan, I am a grade 10 science teacher from Concepcion Integrated School, so secondary level. So, it is a public school po. So, I've been teaching for 15 years. So, isa rin po akong Google Certified Educator Level 1. And of course, an Edpuzzle coach. So, this academic year po, 2020 to 2021, I've been handling 5 sections. So, yun po yung base po sa experience ko. Ayan. May isa po akong section na blended and then meron po akong 4 na section na modular. Then sa klase po, meron po sa isang section po, meron po akong 1 hour na synchronous time and then yung 2 hours po ng bata. Yan po yung time na nagsasagot na sila ng modules po nila. So sa amin po, output based, it's more on the module po yung ang kanilang output. Yan. So, pagdating po kay Edpuzzle, really, ito po yung challenging sa part namin kasi sa public school po, katulad po nung sa akin, ang hawak ko po na blended section, they can pwede po kaming makapag-online, pero yung sa 4 ko pong section na modular, doon po magkakaroon ng challenge kasi hindi po lahat talaga kaya makapag-access sa internet. Yan. So, ito po yung mga ginawa kong preparations. Okay, number 1, so assessment po muna. So, nag-survey po ako sa mga estudyante ko. Okay, sino-sino po dun sa mga yon ang may gadgets. Kasi alam po natin si Edpuzzle is an online video application. So, either may desktop, sino yung may laptop, may smartphone, walang problema po basta't may either of these 3, pwede po natin gamitin si Edpuzzle. And then, internet access. So, sino sa kanila yung may wifi, may mobile data. So, sa amin po sa public, based on experience po, sa section po na handle ko, which is blended, meron pong may mga kakayahan na makapag-online. So, it's about 30% ng kabuang population ng klase ko may wifi po or merong pong mobile data. Okay? So, the rest, na hindi po talagang, na wala pong kakayahan, hindi po namin sila pwedeng pilitin. So, ang focus po nilang, ang pwede po nilang maging gamitin yung kanilang self-learning module. Okay? So, yan. Meron na po akong, na-assess ko na po yung mga estudyante ko na merong mga may kakayahan na makapag-online. Okay? Next, pangalawa ko pong ginawa sa preparation na yan, nagplano na po ako. So, initially, amin po ako dito. Ang bala ko lang po talaga na gamitin ng Edpuzzle is for classroom observation. Okay? Yun po yung initial purpose ko. Gusto ko po kasi mataas yung rating ko. Kasi i-rate po ako ng aking pong head, no? So shout out po kay Ma'am Marites Del Valle. Ayan. Pero habang tumatagal po, ang dami ko pong naging realization. Maya-maya po, mababanggit ko po 'yon. Okay? So second po, ayan, namili po ako ng topic na gagamitin ko para sa classroom observation. Anyway, para din po gamitin sa aking klase. Then, yung pinili ko pong topic, ayan, align in MELCs. Dapat po naka-align sa, i-align ko po yung gagawin kong video at yung mga ilalagay kong tanong doon po sa aking Edpuzzle, i-align ko po doon sa mga tinatawag po nating most essential learning competencies. Okay? So, and then nag-prepare po ako ng script. Anyway, yung script po sa akin, yung personal na ginawa ko, ano lang po maiksi lang naman. Yan. Then, ayan, you need to prepare the materials. Yan po, yung camera, dapat yung lighting. Then, yung mga, doon, halimbawa po, kasunod po ng ginawa ko, I do an experiment. Yan. Nagpakita po ako ng sample ng experiment. Ito yung mga factors affecting chemical reactions. Ayan. So, shout out po sa mga science teacher dyan. And then, yung mga materials po na yon, ayan, same thing din po, kailangan yung place. Dun, sa experience ko po, ang tahimik po ng lugar kung saan ako naggawa ng video ko. Kaya lang, maya-maya, kung napanood nyo po yung video ko, na na-share ko po sa Edpuzzle, meron nga po dong batingting, wherein, ayun po yung yung may dumaan po kasi bigla na nagtitinda ng binatog. So hindi ko na po nagawang i-edit yung part na yun. Pero dire-diretso tinuloy ko na po yung aking pong ginawang video. Next. Ayan po. So, create and edit the video. So, gumamit po ako ng Filmora. Pero anyway, there are other video editing apps po na pwedeng gamitin. Katulad po nung KineMaster, ano pa ba? Power Director, ayan po. Pwede rin po, through PowerPoint na i-discuss po sa kaagapay. Pwede po yung gamitin para makapag-edit po ng video. Next po, ayan, upload the video in YouTube. So, in-upload ko po sa YouTube. Kung nakita nyo po doon sa picture, ayan, uploaded po siya sa YouTube. Pinrivate ko lang po para ako lang po yung may access. Medyo mahihiyain po ako. Pero hindi ko po na-realize. Ngayon, nasa YouTube na po ako. And next, ayan, embed questions and annotations on the video using the Edpuzzle. So, from YouTube po, gumamit nga po ako ng extension para po mailagay sa Edpuzzle yung pong aking YouTube video. So, ayan po, just like dun sa aking sample po. Kung nakita nyo po dun sa sample ng picture ko, meron po dyang naka-embed na question. Pwede din po maglagay tayo ng note, kaya reminders. Halimbawa, katulad ng sample ko po, experiment po yung ginawa ko. Kung gusto pong gawin ng bata yung experiment, yan, maglagay po ako pwedeng maglagay doon ng notes na be careful when handling the chemicals. Ayan po. Pwede rin po yung annotation kung ano pong learning competency or objectives ang meron ka para po dun sa ginagawa mo sa Edpuzzle na video. Yan po. Yan po yung mga preparations ko. Next. Wait lang po. Ayaw pong... Ayan, dito po tayo sa implementation. Ayan. So, saan ko po siya nagamit? No, saan ko po nagamit tong si Edpuzzle? So, sabi ko nga po kanina, initial yung bala ko lang po ay gamitin siya sa classroom observation. So, ako po ay na-observe by means of learning action cell or LAC. Ayan po. Then, ang mga estudyante ko po, pag sa LAC po kasi ang estudyante mo, yung mga co-teachers mo. So, are going to be observed by your head department. Ayan, department head po namin. Next, dun po sa LAC, initially, dito ko po unang ginamit yung ginawa ko pong video, yung personal na teacher-made na video ko po.
Teacher Joanne,
Ayan.
may I interrupt you
Yes
for a
po.
while because right now we can only see your screen, white screen. I don't think the presentation is moving. Thank you. And for a while, teachers, while Teacher Joanne is fixing the presentation. Okay. So again, no, while Teacher Joanne is on it, we invite everyone. Our August competition is ongoing. Okay, so we have two classifications for our competition. We have a Edpuzzle Coach of the Month and Edpuzzle Educator of the Month. No? And both of them will be receiving a swag bag, Pilipinas swag bag that does not exist anywhere. You can only get the Edpuzzle Pilipinas swag bag right here at Edpuzzle Pilipinas. And of course, okay, they will also receive cash prizes and a premium account. And Teacher Joanne can attest that she received an Edpuzzle swag bag as well as cash prize. Okay, so again, just look for our Facebook group, that's Edpuzzle Pilipinas, as well as our Facebook group at Kaagapay Teacher Support. You should be able to find the postings on August competition. Okay, so yan, let's now go back. Teacher Joanne, white screen pa rin po yung nasa ano ngayon. Okay, you might want to unshare first. Okay. And of course, teachers, no, para lang alam natin, ano nga ba itong Edpuzzle Pilipinas swag bag na to? Ito po ang laman niya. Okay, so the shirt, okay, you can actually see now, okay, this is the actual shirt, okay, of Edpuzzle Pilipinas. You can see here, Kaagapay Edpuzzle, okay, that's the partnership between Kaagapay Teacher Support and Edpuzzle Inc. Okay, and of course, you're also going to receive this this very unique Edpuzzle mask. Okay? So that's our Edpuzzle mask. Okay? So model natin. Yan. Okay? And of course, okay, so pwede po natin suotin yan kapag lumalabas tayo proudly. No? And of course, it's following the designs, no, of the patterns that they can be found in our local textiles. Okay? No, Teacher Fidelina will try po to ask Edpuzzle for that, okay, the extension of premium accounts. No? And of course, okay, with that Edpuzzle Pilipinas bag is your Edpuzzle bag. No? Yeah, it's where we will put all your goodies. Okay. So, yan, Teacher John, can we now continue? It's okay if the presentation is not working. No, you can just simply share the rest. Okay, but let's try again. Go ahead, Teacher John.
Okay na po?
Teacher John,
Not
wala
yet
pa,
po.
hindi pa namin nakita. Yes.
Okay po.
Let's wait for a while. Teachers, if you have questions or insights or ideas, please do let us know, no, in the chat box. Okay, Sir Alwin is in the background, no, in the backstage, no, definitely. Yan, Teacher John, it's working. Let's now get into
Okay.
that. Okay. Good luck, Teacher John.
Ayan po. So, balik po ako. Implementation po. Ayan. So, nagamit ko po si Edpuzzle sa observation po sa akin through the LAC or Learning Action Cell. Okay? Initially, yun po ang purpose ko. Then, dun po sa observation ko, base po sa mga co-teachers ko, sa amin po kasi sa public, we need to have some documentation. So, ang ginawa ko po doon ay humingi po ako actually sa mga co-teacher ko ng documentation kung na-picturean po nila ako during the time ng observation ko. Okay, yung mga co-teachers ko po ang reaction nila or sabi nila, ma'am, pasensya na po kasi dalawa lang po yung na-screenshot ko. Masyado po akong na-amaze dun sa paggamit nyo po ng mga apps. So on my part, kahit dalawang picture lang po yung na-share nila sa akin, masaya pa rin po ako na nagkaroon po ako ng, within my co-teachers, nagkaroon po ako ng positive feedback about yung paggamit ko po ng Edpuzzle. So, na-amaze din po sila dahil nga po bago sa mga co-teachers ko po yung ginamit ko pong apps. Yan. Next. Okay, after po nung aking classroom observation, nagamit ko rin po siya sa, ayan po, sa klase ko. So yung nauna pa pong mag-observe ako ng mga co-teachers ko, ginamit ko rin po yun during the time na nagturo po ako. So during the synchronous time, ayan, through Google Meet po. So kanina sabi ko po, challenge sa amin sa public. Kasi nga po, hindi lahat ng bata may access sa internet. Okay? Or yan, hindi po sila during the time, kung sino po yung makaka-attend, ang ginawa ko po noon, every Friday po, meron po kami tinatawag na consultation day. So, nag-schedule po ako na yung 5 section ko, sino yung may kakayahan, may data, may load, during that time para po makapag-Google Meet. Okay? Doon ko po shinare sa kanila yung akin pong Edpuzzle video. Then, doon po, habang pinapanood nila, bago po nila panoorin yun, katulad po ng sinabi ni Sir Alwin, dapat, inano ko muna sila, inintroduce ko sa kanila na dapat maging keen observer sila, panooring maigi. That is because there are embedded questions. So, hindi po sila, tingin ko po hindi naging boring kasi po, every time na meron po akong ipapanood na video, isang factor, for example, ito yung factor about this topic, ang gagawin po dahil may nakalagay po na question, ayan, so interrupt ng konti dahil nga po magsasagot ng question. Okay, so hindi po siya naging boring kasi nagkakaroon pa rin po ng interaction. Okay, and another thing, ayan, paano po yung mga hindi po nakasali sa Google Meet? So, uses in classes during asynchronous time. Pwede rin po, bigay po natin yung link ng Edpuzzle nung video, then shinare ko po yon sa FB group and then sa group chat ng mga bata. Then, paano ko mamamonitor kasi po on my part, hindi po ako gumawa ng Google Classroom. Kasi nga po yung handle kong section ay more on mga modular. So, mas marami po yung walang kakayahan na through makapag-internet nga po, no? So, ang ginawa ko po, yon sa asynchronous time nila, kung kailan sila makakapag-online, ayan, pwede po nilang sagutan yung questions doon. Tapos, ilagay nila sa notebook, take down notes muna nila, then pwede po nilang i-chat sa akin yung naging sagot nila. In that case po, kahit papano, alam ko po na yung Edpuzzle na video ko po, napanood nila. Kasi nagagawa po nilang magsagot, kahit lang po sa group chat or sa chat lang po through Messenger, na ibibigay po nila yung sagot nila sa akin. So, yun po yung naging experience ko doon. Next, ayan po. Ito po yung ilan sa mga experiences and ayan pa, realization ko po. Initially, sabi ko po kanina, gusto ko lang gamitin si Edpuzzle for classroom observation. Sumunod, dahil nga po sa magandang feedback ng mga co-teachers ko using the Edpuzzle, na ayan, ang galing, may ano na siya, pwede na siyang maglagay ng questions. Ginamit ko po sa estudyante ko. Next, another realization, ito pong week na to, sa mga public school teachers po na katulad ko, ito po yung medyo busy kami kahit na bakasyon po, ayan, medyo busy po kami na maglagay ng MOBs o yung mode of verifications namin dun po sa aming portfolio. Kasi meron po kaming ganon. RPMS, IPCRF po. So, napansin ko lang po, nung gumagawa po ako ng portfolio ko, ang dami ko pong nilagay na picture na more on yung ginawa ko pong video with Edpuzzle. Kasi po, gamit po siya, ito po, na-attain ko yung mga what we call this, ito po yung mga na-attain ko dun sa aking portfolio. CRA 1, Objective 2, ensure the positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process. Positive use of ICT. So, andun po, pasok na pasok po yung Edpuzzle video. Okay? Next po, CRA 1, Objective 3, applied a range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking as well as other higher order thinking skill, yung tinatawag na HATS. Paano pumasok si Edpuzzle doon? Yung guide questions lang po na nilagay ko. Pwede tayo maglagay doon. Meron po doon multiple choice tsaka po yung short answer. Di ba po? Yung pong sa multiple choice, hindi naman ibig sabihin pag multiple choice, palagi na lang yung mga pang what or when, how, yung where, what, when, where, hindi lang po yung mga pwede nating ilagay na tanong. We can also add yung mga questions na how and why. So, dun palang pasok po si Edpuzzle. Pati po yung paglalagay nila ng short answer, on their own statement, they're going to create or magsisynthesize sila ng sagot out of your statement. For example po, nilagay ko doon, how will you relate the relationship of temperature in the chemical reaction? Ayan po. So yung pagtatanong po na yon, pasok po doon si Edpuzzle. Okay? Another thing po, ayan, another one, CRA 2 Objective 4, di ba? Isang picture ko lang ng Edpuzzle, nag-screenshot lang ako dun sa video ko na yon, ang dami ko pong na-attain. So ito po, establish a learner-centered culture by using teaching strategies that respond to their linguistic, cultural, socio-economic, and religious background. Okay? Pagdating po sa linguistic, sabi nga po kanina, yung dapat, yung ilalagay, mas maganda kung ikaw yung gumawa ng sarili mong video kasi yung sariling lingwahe mo yung gagamitin mo. Okay? Or pwede rin naman po yung yung mga ready-made na video na nasa YouTube. Mamimili ka nga lang po. Then, yan, socio-economic. So dahil pwede naman siyang gamitin during asynchronous time, pasok na rin po ito sa yung ating pong Edpuzzle video dito sa ating CRA 2 Objective 4. Sigurado po ko sa mga nanonood na public school teacher, nakaka-relate po sa akin ngayon. So, I cannot imagine yung dami ng benefits na nagagawa po sa akin or nagawa po ng Edpuzzle para sa akin this school year. So, napakalaking tulong po talaga. Ayan. Next, bago po ako matapos, let me share lang this po itong itong saying po na to. I wasn't born to just teach. I was born to inspire others, to change people, and to never give up, even when faced with challenges that seems impossible. So we are teachers. Ayan po. Yan po ang aking mai-share sa araw na ito. Okay? Thank you very much po.
Ang husay naman talaga, ang husay at alam kong tuwan-tuwa mga teachers. Welcome na rin natin pabalik sa ating stream si Coach Marcy para kompleto na tayo ngayon para sa ating panel discussion, no? At para handa tayong sagutin ang mga katanungan at mga bumabagabag, no, sa ating mga kaguruan. By the way, gusto ko lang i-model, okay? Baka lang naman, ano? Para kompleto yung outfit na, not kidding. Pero totoo talaga, ang ganda talaga nung ating Edpuzzle Pilipinas swag bag. Anyway, siguro no, bago tayo mag-entertain ng questions, Coach Joanne, okay? Like what I asked Coach Marcy kanina, ano yung pinakamalaking challenge mo when you were applying Edpuzzle to your lesson? Go ahead, Coach Joanne.
Big challenges po, actually yung paggawa talaga ng personalized video, no? Kasi talagang ang dami yung ginagawa, actually nung ginawa ko po siya, cellphone lang. Cellphone lang po yung ginamit ko, kaya nga natutuwa po ako, wow, ako ba talaga to, nakagawa talaga ako. Then siguro po yung another thing po yung yung pag-edit, hindi po ako ganun kagaling mag-edit ng video. Pero tinry ko po kasi yung nasa isip ko po, hindi para sa akin lang tong ginagawa ko eh. Ang magbe-benefit din po nito yung mga bata. Okay? Sa akin po maraming naging benefit. Tingin ko po pagdating din po sa bata, marami din po siyang naging benefit. Yun po yung nakita kong challenge.
Yes, at talagang Coach Ambassador Alwin, talagang pag may gusto, no, may paraan, okay? At napapagtagumpayan. At again, teachers, no, do not be limited by the tools that you have, devices that you have. As you can see, both Coach Marcy and Coach Joanne make use of what they have and maximize it. It's all about maximizing it, no? So kahit cellphone yan or wala tayong alam sa editing, pero gusto nating magawa yan, nagagawa talaga natin yan, okay? But again, center pa rin students, okay? At saka yung learning objectives natin. So hanggat doon kayo naka-anchor, hindi mawawala at hindi maliligaw ang inyong technology integration. Siyempre, sa paggamit lalo ng Edpuzzle sa inyong mga lessons. Okay? So, teachers, we're now ready to entertain some questions. Kaya, although ang mga nakikita ko dito yung mga fans ni Coach Joanne, mukhang madaming si Coach Joanne sa chat natin. Sa ating chat ngayon. Anyway, Coach Alvin, go ahead. Baka meron kang insights, questions sa ating dalawang coaches or sa ating dalawang carriers today.
Thank you, Ambassador Franco. Yun nga, kitang-kita na ang daming talagang well-advertised ang ating episode for today. Maraming salamat sa ating coaches. Ang tanong ko lang, bakit nyo naisipan na gamitin ang Edpuzzle sa inyong mga lessons, coaches?
Parang si Coach Marcy na pilit yata ng team leader eh. Just kidding. Go ahead, Coach Marcy. Coach Marcy muna.
Okay, so actually to be honest, alam ko na po talaga yung Edpuzzle beforehand po nung pumasok ako sa Xavier, pero hindi ko alam kung paano siya ma-maximize. So thank you to Edpuzzle Ambassador Alvin. Siya po kasi talaga yung nag-introduce sa akin and pinakita niya sa akin yung importance of using Edpuzzle. So ayun po, nakita ko na kasi actually Schoology din po kami before but hindi ko alam na kunwari nakikita ko yung sa pacing ng mga bata. I think yun po yung pinaka nagustuhan ko sa Edpuzzle kasi kunwari asynchronous task na po tayo. Nahuhuli ko kung sino yung mga batang hindi pa nanonood. So alam niyo yun, at least not to police them or alam mo yun, pero at least we know kung ano po yung ginagawa ng mga bata natin. Tsaka ang maganda nga kasi sa kanya, like what I have mentioned, pwede na tayo mag-insert ng questions and even notes. Nagustuhan ko rin po yung notes, lalo na nung nakita ko yung may audio note. Sabi ko, pwede naman palang hindi ko na ilagay dito yung guide question ko sa Schoology. Pwede naman pala, sa umpisa pa lang, ilagay ko, gamitin ko na yung note or pwede yung audio note for that. So, ayun lang, ang galing kasi sobrang pwede mo na pala ma-maximize lahat doon sa Edpuzzle video pa lang. So, ayun po.
Sabi nga nila, wala ka nang hahanapin pang iba. Kay Edpuzzle ka na. At lagi sinasabi ni Sir Alwin, ang tagline ni Sir Alwin dyan, padaliin ng buhay, Edpuzzle na yan. Okay, so go ahead, Coach Joanne. Ikaw naman, ano naman ang iyong naging motivation?
Katulad po nung nabanggit ko, initially, ang gusto ko lang po ay gamitin siya for classroom observation. Yan. Gusto ko po kasi, nang initial, sabi ko nga po, gusto ko po tumaas yung rating sa akin ng akin pong head. Yun po yung initial. Tapos, nung nakita ko po yung impact na kahit sila na-amaze na doon sa ginamit ko pong app, tinry ko po na gamitin yung ginamit ko pong video na tinry ko po sa estudyante ko. Same thing, na-amaze din po sila, talagang nakinig po sila, nakita ko po yung concentration nila habang nasa Google Meet kami. Ayan. And then another thing po, kahit hanggang ngayon, ayan, yung sabi ko po, nagkaroon ako ng benefit pagdating po doon sa mga mode or tawag ito, means po of verification. Ang dami kong nailagay sa portfolio ko using the Edpuzzle video. Ayan po. At ito pa po yung isa po sa realization ko na di ko nabanggit. Yearly, pwede ko po siyang gamitin, hindi na po ako mahihirapan. Di ba po? Ang gagawin ko na lang kung meron po akong idadagdag na additional, konting edit na lang po. Yon, ganun ka-easy, kadali yung ginawa sa akin ng Edpuzzle. Kaya malaking tulong po siya.
Yes, tama yan. Investment. Okay. Nag-invest nga tayo sa maling tao dito pa kaya sa Edpuzzle, no? Pwede tayo mag-invest dito. So anyway, Coach Marcy, Coach Joanne, and Ambassador Alwin, meron po tayo isang question dito from Teacher Ash Lasa. Okay, ang tanong niya ay ang ating mga students po ba kailangan mag-install nitong Edpuzzle bago tayo makastart makagawa ng video? Or kailangan natin gumawa ng classroom like Google Classroom? So I think Ambassador Alwin, you'll be the best to answer that. Okay.
For Teacher Ash Lasa, so there are different ways po para magamit natin ng Edpuzzle. So kung meron po tayong parang yung ginagamit kanina or binabanggit ni Coach Marty na learning management system, either Google Classroom, Canvas, Schoology, Moodle, among others. So pwede po nating i-integrate ang mga yon, ang Edpuzzle, doon sa ating mga LMS. So parang yun na po yung one-stop shop for our students. Pero kung wala po tayong ginagamit na mga learning management system, sa Edpuzzle po mismo, once we were able to make our account, pwede na po tayong gumawa doon ng ating Edpuzzle classes at pwede po nating i-invite ang ating mga students para mapanood ang ating mga Edpuzzle videos. And then, meron pa pong other ways. So makikita po natin maraming paraan para magamit ang Edpuzzle. Pwede po nating i-download. Pwede pong i-download ng ating mga students ang Edpuzzle app. Either gamit nila Android or sa kanilang cellphone, sa kung anumang gadget po ang meron sila. At pwede po na nilang gamitin at panoorin ang mga Edpuzzle videos na ginawa natin.
Thank you. So maraming access points po, no? So hindi po tayo mauubusan ng access point pagdating kay Edpuzzle, no? And of course, that also promotes a sense of accessibility to our students, okay? And again, kanina nakita naman natin, no? Yun lang siguro, Coach, Ambassador Alwin, right now, our Edpuzzle is still online access, okay? So hindi pa to na-download, okay? So that requires a little bit of course, no, mobile data or data from our students. But nakita naman natin kanina, both kay Coach Marcy at kay Coach Joanne, may mga ways na kahit po naka-asynchronous, okay? Pwede tayo mag-assign ng video para kung walang signal ngayon, baka pwede sila mag-intay or kaya makapag-load muna bago i-access yung ating Edpuzzle video. Hindi kailangan laging nasa video conference. No, actually, yun nga yung topic natin ngayon, kaya siya flip classroom, ano? Para hindi po tayo nagpapakita ng content sa loob ng isang video conference or isang synchronous session at nilalagay natin siya sa labas. But of course, we can always do that in a video conference. Wala naman nag-stop sa atin, okay? But as much as possible, kaya lagay natin siya sa asynchronous sessions natin and then we deepen it during our synchronous sessions. Okay? Coach Alwin, meron ka pa bang questions or katanungan? Itatanong ba natin yung isang tanong natin kay Coach Marcy or sa ibang ano na lang yan? Sa PM na lang natin kay Coach Marcy. PM na natin yung private question kay Coach Marcy. Anyway, mamaya papadala natin yun sa ating GC with Teacher Joe at kay Coach Joe at kay Coach Marcy. No? But anyway, Ambassador Alwin, let's now show appreciation to our two coaches for the day. by sharing this certificate of appreciation, okay, for our speakers for today. Okay, so let me just share this. Okay, and Coach Ambassador Alvin, would you do the honor to read the citation?
Okay, sir. Ambassador Franco, thank you very much. So it's my honor to present the certificate of recognition. This certificate of recognition is awarded to Marcy de la Peña for sharing her knowledge and expertise in the recently concluded webinar entitled Flipping the Classroom with Edpuzzle, awarded on August 11, 2021. And your signatories, your Edpuzzle ambassadors, yours truly, and Franco Nicolo P. Adun. And the same certificate is also given to Miss Joanne Australia, so for sharing her knowledge and expertise in recently concluded webinar. So the same webinar, Flipping the Classroom with Edpuzzle. Thank you very much, our dear coaches, for sharing your expertise with us and to our Edpuzzle Pilipinas community.
Thank you
Puro
po.
bago tayo magpaalam sa ating dalawang coaches for today, may we ask na Coach Marcy and Coach Joanne to just give us, to give our teachers right now, we have 196 live viewers, okay? Some like message, okay, for them as we, right, for example, us in Xavier, we started, but for some other school, they're going to start, like Teacher Joanne, will still be beginning their pandemic school year two, in a couple of months. So what words of encouragement can you give them or words of advice can you give them? Go ahead. Maybe you can start with Coach Joanne now.
Ayan. Siguro po ang message ko po, wag po nating limitahan yung kakayahan natin. Okay, sa paggamit po ng mga applications. Sa akin po kasi pagharap ko dati noon, pag dumaharap po kasi ako sa computer, totally nanginginig po ako, or shall we say, kinakabahan po ako. That is because totally wala po akong masyadong alam pagdating po sa ICT or sa paggamit po ng computer. Pero ngayon, after all, ang dami ko na pong apps na nagagamit. So, ibig sabihin, wag po nating, ayan, of course, with the help of Kaagapay, Teacher Support, and Edpuzzle Pilipinas, okay, wag po nating limitahan yung kakayahan natin. Kung para po ito sa bata, especially kung yun po yung magiging motivation talaga natin, wala pong imposible na matuto tayo at ng matuto. Lifelong learning po. Yun po.
Of course, go ahead, Teacher Coach Marcy.
Ako po, ang advice ko lang ay sa una lang mahirap. Okay? Wala namang, sa una lang yung paggawa, katulad nga ng sabi ni Coach Joanne, 'di ba? Nahirapan siya gumawa ng video niya. And ako din, yun yung na-experience ko. Sa mga, nabasa ko kasi mga comments kanina, and I think gusto nga nila mag-create ng own video nila. So, wag po kayo mag-hesitate na gumawa ng sarili niyong video. Umpisa lang mahirap kasi para tayong vloggers na inuulit natin kung may mali, 'di ba? Pero pag once na na-upload na natin yan sa Edpuzzle, iniisip na natin yung mga bata natin, kung ano yung mga matututunan nila sa atin, doon na papasok lahat. So, ayun lang po. Wag lang matakot. Yan lang. Thank you po.
Ang lalalim naman ng mga linya ni Coach Marcy, ano? Huwag matakot. Yan. Ilaban. So, maraming salamat, Coach Marcy and Coach Joanne. Magpapaalam na po muna tayo sa ating dalawang coaches, no? And again, we appreciate your time sa pagbabahagi po ng inyong kaalaman at inyong karanasan sa paggamit ng Edpuzzle. I hope all of you teachers were inspired by our two speakers for today in using Edpuzzle in different ways. No? It will open up so much possibilities in your classroom. So, maraming salamat po at magpapaalam na po tayo sa ating dalawang coaches. Bye, Coach Marcy and Coach Joanne. Until next time. Okay, so yan. Coach Ambassador Alwin, maraming salamat, no? Ambassador Alwin, bago tayo magtapos, bago natin ipakita ang ating evaluation link para sa webinar na to, para you can do your evaluation and you can receive your Edpuzzle Pilipinas certificates, okay? Gusto lang po namin, syempre, ibahagi din ang ating blessing, no? So, Sir Alwin, why not, okay? Magbigay tayo ngayon Kasi maraming nainggit, no? Kasi naka-Edpuzzle share tayo, tapos pinakita ko yung Edpuzzle mask natin. Tapos hindi tayo magbibigay ng Edpuzzle swag bag. Parang ano yun, parang mali yun. So, gagawin natin po, teachers, sa lahat po ng mga live viewers natin ngayon, okay? We will give two Edpuzzle swag bags to our live viewers today, okay? Ito lang na napakasimple lang ng kailangan nilang gawin, okay? Kailangan lang nilang i-share itong video na to, okay? This video on your timeline. Please make it public. We're going to search for it. Coach Ambassador Alwin and I will be searching for this. Please use the hashtag Edpuzzle Pilipinas. And ito medyo mahaba lang, tiisin na lang po natin. Hashtag Flip Classroom with Edpuzzle. Okay, para po mas madali naming mahanap ang inyong shared content. Pero syempre, please include some citations, some insights, because para lang magkaroon din kami ng ways to choose among the best shared video. Okay, so for the best, for the two teachers that will be sharing this video and using these hashtags will receive our Edpuzzle Pilipinas swag bag. Wala lang pong cash prize pero sana po enough na to para mapasaya namin kay teachers ayan na po, magkakaroon na po tayo ng bag, okay? Our Edpuzzle Pilipinas face mask, okay? Meron din po yung shirt, may kasama din tong mask lanyard, as well as Edpuzzle, authentic Edpuzzle stickers, right from Edpuzzle. Okay, we'll be sending that. Once we get to choose, we'll be contacting you po for your address to be able to send our package to you wherever you are, as long as you're in the Philippines, because we don't have budget to send a package outside of the Philippines. Pero for those that in the Philippines, we will definitely send it to you wherever you are in the Philippines. Okay, so Sir Alvin, maybe we could conclude with some statements from you, like words of encouragement, reminders for our teachers. Okay? Bago natin ipakita, bago pala ibigyan ka Coach Alwin, ipakita natin muna ang ating evaluation link. Okay? So, teachers, while Coach Alwin is giving us more advice about flipping the classroom, let me just show you now our Edpuzzle Pilipinas evaluation link for this webinar. Okay, so please do check this webinar. Okay, this link, tinyurl.com/edpuzzle05. Please let us know if it works. If not, I will do something about it right now. Okay, so we'll wait for your response. While we're at that, we'll ask Coach Alwin, what else do we have to remember about using Edpuzzle in flipping the classroom? Meron pa ba tayo, Sir Alwin, dyan mga tips and mga reminders para sa mga teachers natin?
Sa akin lang talaga, Sir Franco, dapat pinaka-importante is the readiness of our students kapag mag-flip tayo. At tayo din dapat aware tayo sa within the different features of Edpuzzle para kapag nagtanong ang ating students, alam nating sagutin at hindi yung basta lang natin ibigay ang video tapos yun na sabihin natin, panoorin nyo yan. So dapat yung spacing na parang sinabi kanina ng ating mga teachers. And then, if you are not yet ready to make your own video, sinasabi natin palagi, padaliin natin ang buhay. I-Edpuzzle na yan kasi teachers, muli po, meron po tayong mga videos na available na sa Edpuzzle. Hanapin nyo lamang po ang curriculum sa Edpuzzle at nandun po marami po mga videos na ginawa ang Edpuzzle para sa atin. So hindi na po natin kailangang gumawa ng ating sariling videos kung hindi pa po tayo ready sa paggawa din ng video. Kung sinasabi natin readiness ng ating mga students, syempre readiness din po natin para maging vloggers gaya ng sabi ni Coach Marcy kanina. So this is one thing that we have to consider. At Sir Franco, ano lang pala, shout out sa aming sa math department headed by Miss Ida Bague for letting us really continue to share dito sa Edpuzzle Pilipinas at yung pagpayag niya din kay Coach Marcy, at sobrang proud po ang aming department chairs at supportive sa presentation ngayon ni Coach Marcy.
Coach Alwin, meron ako nakita sa audience kanina sa chat natin na not accessible daw yung link. Paki-refresh na lang po at naayos ko na po yung ating form, teachers, no? Okay, na open ko na po yung ating form, ready for your responses, okay? Just don't mind the banner, no? Nagkamali lang tayo sa banner, pero that's actually for our webinar number 5, okay? But let me also fix that as well, okay? So we'll just wait again for another response here. Okay, if the form is already accepting, okay na po. Yan. Thank you, Teacher Joy, Celeste, for confirmation. Okay, so teachers, good luck. And again, nakalagay po sa baba yung kailangan yung gawin if you want to join our contest for the Edpuzzle Pilipinas swag bags. Okay, just share this video on your timeline. Use the hashtag Edpuzzle Pilipinas, hashtag Flip Classroom with Edpuzzle, and we'll look for you and send you your swag bags, teachers. No? Maraming salamat po. Thank you, maraming salamat, Coach Alvin.
Thank you very much, Sir Franco. Thank you very much, teachers.
We'll see you on our next episode, teachers. Okay?